Welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. My name is Horst Lüning, this is my son Ben, and today we have the Ardbeg Corryvreckan. Here our cask. Corryvreckan is, well, I had that whiskey 5, 7, 8 years ago, and I remember that it was quite hefty, but not more. I also remember that this Ardbeg has a different cask selection to the typical Ardbeg. And I think it's French limousine cask for a decent percentage of that whiskey. And so this whiskey is different to the normal Ardbeg 10 years old and different to the Ugedal, which has some, well, sherry cask influence in it, 10% or so. And this one has a more intense cask. Yeah, so you would like to tell a little bit of the Corryvreckan origins.
Yeah, the thing is, Corryvreckan, with Ardbeg, you always have a story.
Yeah.
And it's a really nice story because the Corryvreckan is a vortex north of, what's it called? Jura. Jura, the neighbor island of Islay. And that vortex is pretty special or pretty impressive because it's dangerous. Even the Royal Navy considers the passage around Jura on the north as not shippable, even with modern ships. Okay, I have to say, yeah, take it with a grain of salt. The story is now 10 years old when I found it.
Perhaps the ships are not that modern.
Perhaps the British ships are not that modern. Yeah, but still, with the ships from 2005 or something like, they didn't want to ship around there because, yeah, it's dangerous. And a very special or famous person, the George Orwell, who wrote the famous novel 1984. He wrote the novel on Jura, and he went rowing around Islay with his cousin, yes, and with a rowing boat, and they toppled it.
Yeah,
they nearly drowned, but they got rescued. I don't know how other people there's a really dangerous vortex out there. Yeah, let's row out there and rescue someone. I'm not sure how they did it, but yeah.
But a year later, George Orwell was dead.
Yeah, a year later he was dead, but he finished his novel.
Yes, and it's very important in nowadays. So the Ardbeg Corryvreckan is 57.1 ABV, so it's 100 imperial proof. So this is not cask strength, and is priced at 70 euros pounds. And it's there for 10 years now, I think. And in the first, I thought, because it was first issued as a committee bottling, I thought, well, this is not there to stay. But then somebody from Ardbeg told me, no, this one is there to stay because it uses casks, those, I think it was French limousine casks. And we don't know, or this is the only whiskey where we put those casks in, and they are there and they are always filled. So there has to be a whiskey which sucks up those casks. And so this is Corryvreckan, and it's there, yes. It's established 1815, so before the legalization of malt whiskey distilling in the Highlands, 1824, because this is part not of Great Britain, but of the United Kingdom.
Okay.
A lot of the Isles had a different status.
Yeah, there's a great video about what is England, Great Britain, and the United Kingdom, and the Commonwealth, and the overseas territories from CGB.
And the
great
crown,
video.
Crown dependencies.
Crown dependencies,
not to forget.
And it's very complicated.
So here they say non-chill filtered, nearly cask strength, turbulent, peppery, dark fruits. Yeah.
I find it interesting if you put on your letter that you mail in, and you put GB and you put an address of Islay in, it still arrives there. even though it's not
the Royal Mail does not know.
The Royal Mail does not know it's not Great Britain, but not everybody knows that Islay is not Great Britain.
Perhaps the UN.
It's part of the British Islands.
Yeah, because
is Ireland part of the British Islands?
Of the United Kingdom.
No.
The Republic of Ireland.
You have the Great Britain
it's part
as
of the European community.
You have Great Britain as the biggest island of the British Isles.
Yeah.
The British Isles are kind of the isles around there. But is Ireland still British Island, or is not? a different archipelago or whatever you call that. I don't know.
This question rises again when the Brexit takes place.
I know it's a matter of landmass, not a matter of politics.
Everything is a matter of politics. Well, okay. Yeah, very intense.
Very intense smokiness.
Yeah, and it's this kind of smokiness where I said it's a tar. It's tar.
It's one of these smoky whiskies that really does not hide its smoke.
No.
It's really present in your nose.
There's only smoke and tar.
Yeah, but that's a bit of a problem with that whiskey.
But typically our brain says, well, now you smelled enough of smoke and tar. Well, now look what's behind that. I filter that.
Yeah,
so
you do have to.
30, 50, 60 seconds and then it's gone.
It's one of these whiskies, if you want to have it more than one dimensional, then you have to smell longer. And yeah, now I get a little bit of a berry note, a little bit of sweetness.
There is no alcoholic note in it.
Really?
It's really buried behind all those smoke and tar.
Yeah, the intensity of the smoke is so high that you don't realize the alcohol. I think if you put it in your nose really deep,
yeah, probably.
you do get a bit of a... But no wonder with a high strength of, what was it?
57.1. 100 imperial proof.
100
Stay
imperial.
to the imperial measurement system.
I do have a car with imperial bolts in it. It's not the UK imperial bolts, it's US imperial bolts. I find it strange that they call them the what do you call the system with the inches? Imperial system. Why do you call it imperial system? Because they're not.
They were issued by the UK,
So
by the British government.
so they kept the imperial system even though they were rebellious, huh?
Ford switched to metric.
Oh yeah. I have a friend who has a Ford, and then and his gearbox is metric. The engine is still
Still an
imperial.
old one?
Yeah, and then it says, "Be careful, it's metric." What? Be careful, it's imperial. Yeah. Oh, now
Much more.
more
Berries.
fruitiness and more
Berries.
and more sweetness.
Yeah. So the main character of an Ardbeg is sweetness. It's typically covered by all that smoke. But if you finish your glass and let it dry overnight, and then in the morning you smell the glass, I suggest that for everybody who drinks a dram at night, please smell in the morning. Don't pour again. It's dangerous. No, smell at it. So there are wonderful aromas when the alcohol and the water is gone. So it's wonderful. And Ardbeg then is very, very sweet. And with a little water, a little bit of sweetness comes up, but those berries are a little more on the sour side. Yeah.
Nice. Cheers.
A mighty taste, very intense, with a little peppery note, the tip of my tongue, spiciness, and then dark fruit, a little bit of, well, anise seed. Strange.
This time I do have it as well, but now I have more alcoholic content. I'm pretty much at 54 or something like still that. Now it's a bit fresher. Now I get what you mean with the anise seed. In the German take I didn't get the anise. But still, dominant is peat smoke.
Yeah.
And it really, the peat smoke reminds me of like a burnt out campfire. Like when you get up in the morning and you smell that the what is it? The ash, residual, the still a bit warm and
Soothe. But I had a little bit of tar as well. Yeah. So this additional cask brings an extra kick to Ardbeg in the taste. Typically, Ardbeg is sweet and smooth in the taste and extremely smoky in the nose. But this one brings or adds the taste to all this, and the taste even is a little bit stronger than the nose suggests in the first. Long aftertaste, deep, smoky, and little residual of pepper.
Yeah, it's not as sweet as I know the Ardbeg. Usually they do have more sherry casks in it. And this time, what do you say, it's Limousin cask or something like that?
It's French.
French.
So European oak.
It's not as sweet as I know, let's say, what do you call the normal one? The
10-year-old.
10-year-old, the lake one?
Ugedal.
Ugedal, yeah. The
Ugedal has sherry cask.
A lot of sherry cask.
Sherry fruitiness in it as well.
This one is a bit less on the fruity side, more on the other characteristics, I would say. Yeah. And harder on the peat. But I love that. I really like it.
So this is the end of what of peat I find wonderful. So above that, it's quite difficult for me. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching. If you found this video interesting, then please feel free to...
sorry, I have something.
You have something, sorry.
We went out to Ardbeg with a helicopter. A wonderful weather, a wonderful view of the distillery. And then we took a video of the distillery tour, and then we went up to Loch Ugedal, where we had some glamorous camping overnight. So there are 3 videos online. Yeah, buzzword. And have a look at our channel. You will find that at the playlist of Ardbeg. Yeah, and that's for me.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you found this video then interesting, then please feel free to visit Whisky.com. You will find tons of information there, all of our videos as well, and a lot of pictures, a lot of stuff about whiskey and all the whiskeys in the whiskey database. Yeah, thanks for watching and see you next time.